Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at 4.
Good afternoon, and welcome to koolNews at 4. Police officers should receive training in updated criminal investigation and in inquest proceedings because our Parliament's Representative Brian Raymond Yamson said on Tuesday. In a statement, Yamson said the Philippine National Police should keep up with the reforms because the 2024 Department of Justice National Prosecution Service rules on preliminary investigation and inquest proceedings sets a higher standard in determining the quantum of evidence needed to file cases. Police officers should make sure that the evidence they have secured, gathered, and processed are not excluded by the courts due to improper handling and other technicalities. He added. According to Sang Yuan, the former Assistant Secretary of the Department of the Interior and Local Government, the reforms of preliminary investigation and inquest proceedings will be all for naught if appropriate training is not given to police officers. That's why the PNP's focus should be on continuing education and training of personnel to ensure that they will follow the police operational procedures. The DOJ cannot implement the reforms in investigating criminal cases and cannot win the actual cases with the court if it's not done with the PNP, he said. At one of the hearings, a police officer who acted as the team leader in one of the drug bypass operations even admitted that he had not undergone any retraining or any sort of refresher course since entering the PNP almost 14 years ago, he added. Under the new rules, the determination of probable cause rests on the soldiers of prosecutors. Before, the courts had to ascertain that these cases filed had merits. According to the DOJ, greater responsibility will be placed on the shoulders of prosecutors with the signing of the new rules, but potential abuse can be deterred as prosecutors have to sign a certification indicating that the cause they came up with has a complete set of evidence. These reforms under the able leadership of Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla will help the jury reduce its mounting case backlogs and aid corrections officials in decongesting the country's overcrowded jails, Yamson said. Last July 10, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. witnessed the signing of the 2024 DOJ NPS rules on preliminary investigation and inquest proceedings in Malacanang. He said the updated rules would usher in a new era of law enforcement and prosecution because only vulnerable cases would be pursued, eventually clearing the court's backlog. According to the president, requiring a higher standard of evidence would not only ensure that cases filed by prosecutors are vulnerable, but at the same time provide protection to people who may be facing frivolous suits. The Commission on Election (COMELEC) has registered more than 4 million new voters, exceeding its goal of listing 3 million new voters 2 months before registration closes. According to data released by the poll body to the media on Tuesday, the number of voters applications processed as of July 13 is 4,565,405. The COMELEC said 2,359,536 new voters are females, while 2,205,869 are males. Region 4A tallied the highest number of registrations with 768,889 new voters, followed by National Capital Region with 634,881, Region 3 with 534,782, Region 11 with 268,289, and Region 7 with 242,816. The voters' registration will end on September 30. Eligible voters can register at the office of the election officer or satellite registration office in their area from Mondays to Saturdays, including holidays, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Applicants need to bring one of the following, which are the valid IDs, field ID, postal ID, PWD ID, student's ID or library card signed by the school authority, senior citizens ID, land transportation office driver's license or student permit, National Bureau of Investigation clearance, Philippine passport, Social Security Service or Government Service Insurance Program or other unified multi-purpose ID, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, license issued by the Professional Regulatory Commission, certificate of confirmation issued by the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples in case of members of ICCs or IPs, barangay identification certification with photo, or and any other government issued valid ID. The midterm elections will be held on May 12, 2025, and the election period will run from January 12 to June 12, 2025. Employees of the Commission on Elections, COMELEC, called bribery allegations against full-body officials an attack on the institution and a direct affront to the credibility of the elections. The COMELEC Employees Union, COMELEC EU, said they shared Chairman George Garcia's view that the accusation that the COMELEC chief received bribes from an unnamed South Korean firm is a wild oil demolition job. We agree with Chairman Garcia that this is a wild oil demolition job that is clearly meant to erode the public's trust in the ultimate election system, COMELEC-EU said in a statement Tuesday. This is an attack on the institution and a direct affront to the credibility of the elections that we have worked so hard to uphold and preserve, it added. On July 9, Second Party List Representative Dante Marcoleta said around 1 billion pesos was allegedly transferred to 49 offshore bank accounts that can trace to an unnamed full-body official. Garcia eventually said that he was the one being alluded to by Marcoleta, but has denied the claims. He even asked the National Bureau of Investigation and Anti-Money Laundering Council to look into the issue. Garcia likewise added that he is mulling filing criminal cases against people who spread lies about him. The Philippine offshore gaming operator Pogo is still not a national security threat, according to a National Security Council official, believing that right now the issue is handled pretty well by the government. At the Senate Committee on Ways and Means hearing on Tuesday, NSC Assistant Director General Francis Jude Lu and Co. said they are satisfied with the government's initiatives in terms of addressing problems surrounding Pogo. The Senate Committee on Ways and Means was conducting a hearing on the Anti-Online Gambling Act. Right now, the issue is handled pretty well. We are satisfied with how this is being handled by our law enforcement and regulatory agencies, the NSC official said. Lu and Co. was replying to Senator Sherman Cachillian's inquiry on what's taking NSC so long to declare Pogo as a national security threat. Cachillian, who chairs the Senate Committee on Ways and Means, stressed that all fingerprints of a national security threat are there, and all of those are pointing to Pogos as the origin of those circumstances. So, in my mind, anong pang hihintay natin? Why are we still waiting to elevate it into a national security threat? The senator asked. But Lau and Co. cited National Security Advisor Eduardo Ano's earlier pronouncement that Pogos are not yet a national security threat, but a national security concern. I am taking from the statement of the National Security Advisor when he mentioned that the response to this does not yet have to include a drastic responses, for example, involving the armed forces of the Philippines in addressing national security threats like the Communist Party of the Philippines to New People's Army and even terrorist threats, explained Low and Co. This is where I'm coming from. From this statement already given by the NSC in this regard, he also said. Low and Co, however, said the NSC supports the passage of laws that would criminalize illegal POGOs and totally ban illicit offshore gaming and internet gaming licensees in the country. We have seen, as presented by the chair, the initial presentation, we have seen the extent of criminal activities being conducted in some of the IGLs and poker facilities, particularly human trafficking, cyber fraud, prostitution, among others, said Lo Enco, which to us has become a very serious national concern that is now being addressed by the appropriate law enforcement agencies and Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, and also by the appropriate regulatory agencies such as BACGOR, he emphasized. Earlier, the Senate panel on women headed by Senator Risa Hontiveros urged the NSC to raise before President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. that POGOs are a threat to national security. The call was made in an executive session where panel members and high-ranking security officials tackled suspended Pampang Mayor of the school's alleged connection to POGOs. A beach resort inside the Subic Special Economic and Freeport Zone is facing the possibility of a lawsuit from the family of a 5-year-old child who died after getting stung by a jellyfish while swimming at the commercial establishment late last month. Jahazel Michael Lee Manning Ding on Monday said they plan to take to court the All Hands Beach Resort in San Bernardo along Apollo City for negligence, which led to the death of her daughter, Keira, who was stung by jellyfish while swimming at the beach shore last June 28. Yes, but we're still making arrangements on who will handle the case, Manning Ding said in a message sent to the Inquirer. Manning Ding said there were no warnings, verbal or otherwise, that there was danger of jellyfish attacks when they went to swim at the resort when there were already incidents or recently reported. The mother said that resort staff and a bystander was able to administer first aid by pouring vinegar on the child's leg, which had been stung by the jellyfish. She added that the resort was also ill-prepared in handling the life-threatening medical emergency, with no available vehicle to take her daughter to the hospital at that moment. The child still made it to the Allied Care Experts Medical Center. They pointed with the help of another resort grocer, according to Manning Ding. Keira was intubated at the medical facility but ultimately succumbed to anaphylaxis or severe allergic reaction, according to medical diagnosis. Lawyer Josefina Buena, the legal counsel of All Hands Beach, disputed the account of Manning Ding that the resort has no vehicle for such emergencies. All Hands Beach has a vehicle and the driver but was away at the time taking care of other things, Buena said in the radio interview. So what happened was there was a guest that was leaving the resort, so we found another way so we can bring the child to the hospital, she also said. Buena also said that the accident was an isolated case, highlighting that they do clearing operations of jellyfishes in the swimming area. This is just an isolated case. Not all of the people who swim have been stung by the jellyfish. But as we say, accidents do happen and no one wanted this to happen, she said. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. pressed for a speedy completion of a Jalor River Multipurpose Project 2 in Kalinog, Iloilo. In a speech during Tuesday's integration of the 3 dams that are part of the agricultural infrastructure project, Marcos said the former Senate President Franklin Drilon reminded me that he has been working at this for 13 years, and I think it is entirely too long that the phase 1 that was completed in my father's time, that the phase 2 should be completed in my time. We should not have waited that long, so I think we need to accelerate the process a little bit, he added. The irrigation project's first phase was completed back in the 1980s under the term of Marcos' father, the late President and dictator Ferdinand Marcos Sr. However, its second phase was derailed due to lack of funding. It was only in 2011 under the term of late President Benigno S. Aquino III that the Jalos River Multipurpose Project 2 resumed. The National Irrigation Authority said that as of June 2024, the entire project is 75.51% complete. And with substantial completion of all three Jalo dams, High Dam, Observatory Dam, and Alibunan Catch Dam, NIA said the Jalo River Multipurpose Project 2, one of the biggest agricultural infrastructure projects in the country today, it's expected to be fully operational by mid-2025. According to Marcos, the project is seen to benefit 25,000 farmers in its 30,000 hectare service area with uninterrupted supply of irrigation water. He also said that the project is anticipated to provide the commercial and industrial bulk water requirements of Iloilo City and neighboring municipalities. The president further noted that Jalo River Multipurpose Project 2 is likewise estimated to increase annual rice crop production in western Visayas by 160,000 metric tons and generate 6.6 megawatts of hydroelectric power, supplementing the electricity supply of Panay Island. Additionally, it is also proposed to develop inland fishery, floating solar energy systems, and eco-cultural tourism in the near future, Marcos said. This should further boost the development in the agricultural sector as well as the local economy of the entire region, he also said. And now for the West Philippine Sea, at Mai, the cooperative activities between the Philippines and Vietnam on Putat Island or Southwest Kai have resumed, marking the first bilateral engagement between both countries in the West Philippine Sea since the COVID-19 pandemic. The seventh iteration of the joint activity between the Philippine Navy and the Vietnam People's Navy was held on July 10, Navy spokesperson Commander John Percy Alcos said on Tuesday. Alcos stated that this event, led by the Philippines Deputy Marine Commander for Marine Operations and Naval Force West, Colonel Estein Calacoa Jr., and Vietnam's Naval Region 4 Deputy Commander, Senior Captain Ngo Nguyen, is another milestone in fostering bilateral cooperation and camaraderie between the two navies. This used to be a regular thing, but because of the COVID, it stopped for a while, Alcos also said in a regular press conference. I believe after the pandemic, this is the first time that we held this again. Alcos said the navies of Manila and Hanoi held a stop-to-stop talk on regional maritime security updates as well as proposals for future cooperation. The activity, attended by 60 personnel from navies of both countries, also includes friendly games, cultural presentations, and even culinary exchanges. Pugat Island was previously held by the Philippines was seized by Vietnam in 1975. Despite this, Manila and Hanoi maintained good relations as both countries face continuous aggression from Beijing. Asked if there is a possibility that the Philippine Navy plans to conduct similar activities with the Chinese Navy, Alcos had a lukewarm response. We do these activities with like-minded nations, Alcos said. Stick around, koolNews at 4 will return after these messages. It is now 17 minutes after 4, which is 4:17 in the afternoon. We will be right back. Welcome back. Two motorcycle riders died early Tuesday, July 16, after their vehicle bumped into a parked tractor in Candelaria town in Quezon province, police said. The motorcycle ridden by a still unidentified driver and backrider factory worker, Emerson Alviso, age of 21, was traveling along the Maharlika Highway around 2:15 a.m. when their vehicle slammed into a parked tractor head on the side of the road in Barangay Masin Norte, a spot report from the Quezon police said. Both riders suffered fatal injuries and died on the spot. The police did not specify if the parked tractor had driven by dawn had a reflectorized or early warning device to alarm approaching vehicles. Dawn was placed under police custody while the investigation continued. A fire struck portions of the Maharlika Livelihood Complex, the oldest shopping mall in the city, early Tuesday, July 16, authorities said. The fire reportedly started in one of the stalls on the third floor of the building around 1 a.m. Firefighters from the Bureau of Fire Protection, Baguio, are still investigating the exact cause of the fire. No casualties have been reported and damage is still being assessed. An initial report from the BFP said a security guard at Maharlika alerted them about the fire. Firefighters quickly responded and managed to suppress the growing blaze. The fire was declared under control at 4:09 a.m. and fully extinguished around 4:30 a.m. Opened in 1982 under the Human Settlements Development Corporation, the Maharlika Livelihood Complex Center was integrated by First Lady Imelda Marcos, who served as the Human Settlements Minister. Police arrested three suspect drug pushers and seized 204,000 pesos worth of shabu in a bypass operation on Monday, July 5 in Das Marina City, Cavite. And narcotics agents nabbed Ismail, Basir, and Melver around 9:50 p.m. after they sold 500 pesos worth of shabu to an operative acting as drug user, and that to Ismail, the Calabarzon Police Regional Office BRO4A said in a report on Tuesday, July 16. The law enforcement confiscated from the suspects 9 plastic sachets containing crystal meth weighing 30 grams. Police tagged Ismail and Basur as included in the police drug watch list as high-value individuals in the local drug trade, while Malver was identified as a street-level pusher. Authorities are investigating the source of the drugs. The suspects are facing formal complaints for violating the country's anti-drugs law. Gabriela Party List Representative Arlene Rosas on Tuesday announced that she will run for senator in the 2025 polls. According to Rosas, she wants to bring her advocacies to the Senate. In the Senate, I will not only defend these laws but push for more comprehensive legislation to safeguard women's rights, Rosas was quoted as saying in a release. Last July, 4, the Makabayan Bloc, which Gabriel is a part of, said they would fill a full senator slate in the 2025 elections. HCT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro also announced that would run for senator last June 26. Department of the Education spokesperson, Undersecretary Michael Poa, said he and 4 other officials have resigned. In a November message to reporters Tuesday, Poa explained that they resigned because it is only appropriate to give the incoming Secretary of Education, Secretary Angara, a free hand to choose the people that will form part of his team. According to Poa, other DepEd officials who quit their posts were Nolasco Pin, Undersecretary for Administration, Sunshine A. Fajarda, Assistant Secretary, Office of the Secretary, Reynold S. Mungsayak, Assistant Secretary for Procurement, and Noel T. Balugyan, Assistant Secretary for Administration. It was Angara who revealed Poa's resignation. Purple Palang, Undersecretary Poa told me that he's leaving and he's waiting for instructions from the Vice President Sara Duterte. Angara told reporters in an ambush interview earlier Tuesday. Angara will assume as Education Secretary starting July 19, 3 days before he takes place, after Vice President Sara Duterte quit the Marcos administration cabinet nearly a month ago. A 4.8 magnitude earthquake struck the coastal town of Macanancon in Isabela at 7:19 a.m. on Tuesday, July 16, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, PhilVox. The earthquake, which was tectonic in origin, occurred at the depth of 10 meters northeast of the town. A 2.1 magnitude aftershock was recorded at 9:06 a.m. on the same day, PhilVox said. No immediate reports of damage or casualties had so far come in, according to Butch Bartolomem, the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Officer, who cited ongoing monitoring by civil defense and local government units. Senator Rafi Truvo is seeking a new investigation of the long line, defective e-gates, and other problems happening at airports nationwide. In filing Senate Resolution Number 1069, Truvo aimed to look into efficiencies at the country's domestic and international airports. The probe shall be conducted by the Senate Committee on Public Service, which he now heads. As reported, many passengers have to endure long lines at check-in counters due to inefficient passenger airlines kiosks, which have no sticker papers for printing of baggage tags. These senators said in a resolution filed Monday, July 15. There are complaints that passengers also have to endure long lines at immigration counters due to alleged lack of immigration personnel or counters and prolonged immigration screenings, he added. Truvo also cited the alarming reports that airport e-gate scanners for arriving passengers often fail to read passports and boarding passes, forcing passengers to queue for manual processing instead and doubling the time spent at the counters. And yet, travelers carry the burden of the inconvenience as they have to spend extra money to rebook their tickets and stay extra hours at the airport's lobby, even when they are not the ones at fault, the senator lamented in the resolution. Adding to the passengers' burden, Truvo said many escalators, walkolators, carousels, and tubes were either poorly operating or non-operational at all. Truvo also stressed the need to address the lack of signs at the airport, terminals, arrival, and departure areas. He added that passengers must be informed of their rights in abuse of missed flights due to immigration lines and other boarding problems. His resolution likewise sought to inquire into the operations of the Manila International Airport Authority. There is a necessity to evaluate the current situation and operational procedures of the Manila International Airport Authority to identify potential areas for improvement and ensure that international aviation standards are complied with, Truvo said. According to Truvo, the inquiry aims to recommend necessary reforms that will modernize and optimize airport operations, meet global standards of excellence, and enhance overall passenger experience. And now for international headlines, the body of a spade-toothed whale, a species so rare it has never been seen alive, appears to have washed up on a New Zealand beach, scientists say. The remains of the obscure 5-meter or 16.4-foot long weak creature were found near a river mouth in southern Otago province on July 4, government researchers said. It was identified by marine mammal experts from New Zealand's Department of Conservation and the National Museum, Te Papa, as a male spade-toothed whale. A DNA investigation has been launched to confirm its classification, the scientists said. Spade-toothed whales are one of the most poorly known large mammalian species of modern times, said the Conservation Department's Coastal Otago Operations Manager, David Davis. Since the 18,000s, only 6 samples have ever been documented worldwide, and all but one of these was from New Zealand, Davis said in a statement Monday. From a specific and conversation point of view, this is huge. The find was fresh enough to offer the first opportunity for a spade-toothed whale to be dissected, the Conservation Department said. The species is so rare, next to nothing is known about them, it said. The body of the whale has been placed in cold storage and genetic samples have been sent to the University of Auckland as curators of the New Zealand Cetacean Tissue Archive. It may take several weeks or months for the DNA to be processed and a final identification confirmed. The rarity of the whale means conversations around what to do next will take more time because it is a conversation of international importance, the Conservation Department said. This species was first described in 1874 from just a lower jaw and 2 teeth two teeth collected from the Chatham Islands off the east coast of New Zealand. That sample, along with skeletal remains of two other specimens found in New Zealand and Chile, enabled scientists to confirm a new species. But because so few specimens have been found and there have been no lived sightings, little is known about the spade-toothed whale, and it is classified as status deficient under New Zealand's threat classification system. The first intact specimen was from a mother and called stranding in Bay of Plenty in 2010, the New Zealand Conservation Department said. A further stranding in 2017 in Gisborne added one more specimen to the collection. Troops in Indian-administered Jammu and Kashmir hunted Tuesday for militants after several soldiers were critically wounded in furious gun battles, with Indian media reporting 4 had died. Muslim majority Kashmir has been divided between India and Pakistan since their independence from British rule in 1947, and the disputed Northern Territory has suffered an uptick in attacks in the past 2 months. The Indian Army's 16th Corps said security forces had launched an operation Monday evening in Doda district. Contact with terrorists was established. A heavy firefight ensued. It said in the statement. Initial reports suggest injuries to our brave hearts. The Army gave no further details on casualties, and there was no official confirmation of deaths. But Indian media widely reported 5 soldiers had been critically wounded, and the press trust of India news agency reported on Tuesday that 4 later died of the wounds. That the army said additional troops had been brought in. Operations are continuing, it added. The clashes come a day after the Indian Army killed 3 suspected militants in Kashmir's Kupwara district on Sunday. India and Pakistan both claim Kashmir in full and have fought multiple conflicts for control of the Himalayan region. New Delhi and Islamabad accuse each other of stoking militancy and espionage to undermine each other. Rebel groups have waged an insurgency since 1989, demanding independence for the territory or its merger with Pakistan. The conflict has killed tens of thousands of civilians, soldiers, and rebels. Earlier this month, gunmen killed 5 soldiers after ambushing an army convoy, and 2 other soldiers and 6 suspected militants were killed in separate clashes. In June, 9 Indian Hindu pilgrims were killed and thousands were wounded when gunmen opened fire on a bus carrying them from a shrine in the southern Resi area. It was one of the deadliest attacks in years and the first on Hindu pilgrims in Kashmir since 2017, when gunmen killed 7 people in another ambush on the bus. And a high-ranking North Korean diplomat stationed in Cuba defected to South Korea last November, just months before Seoul and Havana established diplomatic ties, a report said Tuesday. North Korean diplomat Ri Kyu had been responsible for political affairs at Pyongyang's embassy in Cuba since 2019, tasked specifically with obstructing the establishment of diplomatic relations between South Korea and Cuba, the Chosun Daily reported. Ri defected to South Korea with his wife and children in early November, the report said, making him the highest-ranking North Korean diplomat known to have defected since Tae Yong-ho, Pyongyang's deputy ambassador to Britain, in 2016. South Korea's Unification Ministry and Foreign Ministry both told AFP they were unable to confirm the defection. Seoul's Unification Ministry has previously flagged a rising number of defections by North Korean allies, which they said made up around 10 of the 196 defections in 2023, the highest in years. Around 3 months after Ri's reported defection, Seoul and Havana, which is one of Pyongyang's oldest allies, and the fellow communist state, announced they were establishing diplomatic ties. In an exclusive interview with South Korea's Chosun Daily, Ri said he decided to deflect after Pyongyang rejected his request to seek medical treatment in Mexico after an injury, even though he could not receive the necessary treatment in Cuba due to a lack of specialist equipment. He also claimed to have received unfair performance reviews after rejecting a demand from a senior foreign ministry official in the north for bribes when he visited Pyongyang in August 2019 to discuss a project to open a North Korean restaurant in Cuba. Every North Korean thinks at least once about living in South Korea, he told the Chosun Daily. Disillusionment with the North Korean regime and a bleak future led me to consider defection. Ray also told the newspaper that North Korea's former foreign minister, Ri Yong-ho, and his family had been sent to a political prisoner camp in December 2019 on suspicion of corruption over a bribery case involving the embassy in Beijing. South Korea's spy agency said in May that Pyongyang was plotting terrorist attacks, targeting Seoul's officials and citizens overseas, with the foreign ministry raising the alert level for diplomatic missions in 5 countries. The agency said it appeared to be a response by Pyongyang to a wave of defections by allied North Koreans who were trapped overseas during the pandemic and were seeking to avoid returning home after border controls were eased. North Korean embassy officials may be submitting false reports blaming external factors, such as South Koreans based overseas, for defections by their colleagues in a bid to evade punishment, so spy agencies said at the time. It is now 19 minutes before 5, and that is 4:41 in the afternoon, and Cool News at 4 will continue after this break. Welcome back. A motorcycle riding drug pusher was arrested Monday and yielded an illegal firearm and shabu after a briefcase with police manning a checkpoint in Town and Patagas province. The Region 4A police reported on Tuesday, July 16 that cops conducting Oplancita, a routine anti-criminality inspection, flagged down motorcyclist Samuel in Barangay Luntal at 1 p.m. for driving a vehicle without a plate number and without wearing a crash helmet. Wearing protective headgear for motorist riders is mandated under the Motorcycle Helmet Act of 2009. The rider disregarded the cops, who ordered him to stop and sped off, prompting the police to chase him until he was arrested. When fixed, the police found Samuel carrying an undocumented caliber .38 revolver with 4 bullets. The cops also found him in a possession of 3 plastic sachets containing shabu weighing 5.51 grams worth 37,468 pesos. The authorities also discovered that the suspect was on the police watch list as a street-level drug pusher in a locality. The suspect was placed under police custody and is facing criminal charges, including violation of the firearm law and anti-drugs law. The police also impounded Samuel's motorcycle. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation PAGCOR on Tuesday said at least 74.78% or 5,793 of the 7,747 illegal online gaming sites it has detected have already been blocked. Senior Vice President of PAGCOR Security Monitoring Cluster, Redgan Rao Villanueva, disclosed the matter before the Senate Committee on Ways and Means public hearing on the Anti-Online Gambling Act. According to Villanueva, PAGCOR has been monitoring all illegal sites, not only for illegal games, online games rather, but also other classifications such as e-sabong, Facebook ads, mobile applications, offshore sites, and spam messages. Of these, sir, 7,747, 5,793, or 74.78% were already blocked, and 1,954 are still active, said Villanueva. The PAGCOR official emphasized how challenging it is to block these sites, explaining that they usually resort to strategies, blocking the website or URLs, and payment blocking. The payment blocking is, as of now, based on my research, there's no studies yet on payment blocking because some of these criminals use cryptocurrency as a mode of payment. And the banking system is very complex, offshore banking is very complex. But we have reached out to payment portals like GCash and Maya, and we had a meeting 2 weeks ago with a representative of GCash, and they promised us to purge on these illegal sites because we have submitted to them and have published in our sites only the illegal sites, he explained. While it is a challenge to eradicate illegal gambling sites, Villanueva said PAGCOR is doing its best to monitor the internet. To further support the bid, the PAGCOR official said they have also reached out to Google Play, which is Google and Apple Play. Apple App Store, specifically requesting that illegal applications such as e-sabong sites be shut down. If you will look, there was a reduction in Facebook ads, especially illegal sabong, because of these efforts that we have been doing. But they shifted to chat rooms like Telegram chat groups. They have been advertising and posting links on illegal sites, he said. Meanwhile, The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corp PAGCOR said it is for regulating online gaming such as e-casino, e-bingo, and digital sports betting. In an unabashed interview on Tuesday, PAGCOR Chair Alejandro Tanco said the gray market in online gaming is huge. Our estimate is around 200 to 250 billion pesos, and if we don't regulate it, where will it go? But only in the pockets of those who run these operations. The government does not benefit from that even 1 cent, said Tanco in a mix of English and Filipino. In a separate unabashed interview on Tuesday, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian admitted that there have been no severe crimes related to online gaming so far. Still, he noted that individuals who entertain such often get addicted. So far, I have not seen anything of the case, especially among the police force, he said in Filipino. While no severe crimes have so far been linked to online gaming, Gatchalian has emphasized the need to monitor it because online gaming sites, he said, are accessible to all. It's easy to set up an online gaming account. You can give a fake name or fake age. It doesn't check if you work for the government, and that's it. What I say is the most frightening thing here is that our enforcement agencies may get addicted to online gaming, he added. During the Senate panel on Ways and Means hearing on the Anti-Online Gambling Act, the Philippine National Police admitted that some of their personnel were dismissed because of dipping their toes to online gaming. The Supreme Court has required the Senate Committee on Women, Chair, Family Relations, and Gender Equality to respond to suspended Bambang Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo's petition to annul the subpoena issued against her. In her petition, Guo asked the Supreme Court to annul the subpoena issued by the Senate Committee, stop the committee from further inviting her as a resource person, and issue a restraining order while her petition is pending. The Senate Committee is investigating the operations of the Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators, which is POGOs. Guo's name was dragged into the controversy after the electric meter of Poco Hub in Tarlac was found to be under her name. Subsequently, questions regarding her nationality came up, prompting various government agencies to conduct investigations. Guo stated that her life, liberty, and security were endangered after her personal details were made public. During Tuesday's full court session, the SC gave the Senate Committee 10 non-extendable days from notice to comment on the petition. The Department of Health (DOH) said the dengue cases increased in the country as a recorded 90,119 from January to June 29. According to the DOH, the count was 90% higher than the 75,968 dengue cases listed in the same period last year. It also reported that 233 dengue patients died in the same period, but noted that the figure was lower than the 291 fatalities recorded in the same period in 2024. The DOH attributed the hike in dengue infection to the onset of the rainy season. It noted that frequent winds allow more water to pool and become stagnant, causing the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes carrying the dengue virus to bleed in pools of dormant water. In the report on Tuesday, July 16, the DOH also enumerated its documentation of dengue cases from May 19 to June 29, 2024 as follows: May 19 to June 1, 6,323, June 2 to 15, 8,246, and June 16 to June 29, 8,213. The Health Department likewise noted that 7 regions have registered increases in dengue infection over the past 6 weeks before June 29. These are Mimaropa, Cagayan Valley, Western Visayas, Ilos Region, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and National Capital Region. Previously, the agency said that the highly populated NCR or Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon have the highest case of dengue for the past 5 years. The DOH then reiterated its call to public to observe its 4S strategy to combat dengue, search and destroy mosquito breeding grounds, self-protection measures, seek early consultation with a doctor upon the onset of dengue symptoms, and support fogging or spraying in a location where a dengue case increase is reported. With rain comes the rise of dengue, we know what works, and that is to kill mosquitoes. Protect loved ones through clothing and mosquito repellents. Do not supplementate. Ask your doctor or nearby clinic if you have dengue, said Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa. And now for entertainment news. After overcoming a recent hurdle in their marriage, Sharon Cuneta said she loves Francis Kiko Pangilinan, her husband of 28 long years, now more than ever. Cuneta made her declaration of love for the former senator by sharing a reminder from American author Luis Horace through her Instagram stories on Monday, July 15. When you choose a life partner, you're choosing your eating companion for about 20,000 meals, your travel mate for 100 vacations, your retirement friend, your career cheerleader, and someone whose name you will hear about 18,000 times. Choose wisely, Horace post read. Cuneta then captioned it, God help me to choose really well. I love my Kiko now more than ever before. And the YouTube accounts of SB19, Ben and Rico Blanco were hacked after fans noticed that crypto videos were aired. While the incident involving Ben's accounts is taken under control, Blanco's channel has since been down. On Monday, July 15, they got the date wrong. The YouTube channels of the Filipino artist suddenly uploaded videos from a cross-border payment solutions company called Ripple, which centers around XRP, a form of cryptocurrency token. Following the incident, SB19 self-managed agency 1C Entertainment announced that the group's channel was compromised, but that the situation is now under control. We regret to inform you that SB19's official YouTube account was recently compromised. We took immediate action to address the incident and rest assured that it is now under control. Our team has reported the incident to the relevant authorities involved to prevent similar occurrence in the future, 1C wrote on Twitter, or X. Ben, on the other hand, announced on Facebook that a significant part of their YouTube channel has been retrieved. Our team has restored and recovered a significant part of our YouTube channel from the hijackers. However, we are still waiting on the response of our partners in addressing this matter, specifically for the Ben and Ben YouTube channel's homepage, the Ben said. As of this writing, the homepage of SB19's channels appears to have been restored, while Ben and Ben's homepage is barred. Meanwhile, Blanco has yet addressed the incident on social media platforms. His YouTube channel appears to have been taken down. And that is it for koolNews at 4. As always, you can send a news tip or feedback to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back later with more headlines with koolNews at 6 and koolNews Prime Time at 9. Until then, I am Aspir. Good afternoon.